Nancy Dallett, can you hear me? Peggy, you hear me? Peggy Noonan, yeah? Friends are watching you over here. We see you. We're davening with you. You're the sea door, and they're holding the sea doors. And these are real live people clapping. It's no one here. So clap with us. Ay, la, la, la.
La 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 la.
Ay, la, 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 la.
La
Eh,
la
la,
la
la,
la
la.
la.
Eh, la, la, la. Eh, la, 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 la. Ay, la, 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 Shabbos, everybody. It's good, huh? Don't know what you got till it's gone. And the thing that I'm most afraid of losing as we gain so much back is the sense that, you know, how much is enough? I can remember so many moments in the last 13 years in this building where I would say, no, would that the whole place was full, right? I wanted it to be so full. It's like, it feels so good, Yom Kippur, when people are shoulder to shoulder and swaying, and it just lifts everybody. And now I feel a little bit embarrassed by that song, by that desire, because what's enough? Just to hear one other voice each and every week. We get to pull back the layers of ritzonot, of desires, and come to what's core, what's essential, what's enough. So just a little bit of Shabbat, a little bit of the melodies of Shabbat can already bring us into the frequency, the vibration of sufficiency. I hope you can feel it here. And I know you can feel it at home. So from this room to your Zoom, and from your Zoom back to this room, Yigala Na.
שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום, שישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומולו מאוד, נורא הוא הכל אלוהים, מכל אלוהי עמים אלילים, והווי שמיים עשה, עוד ההדר לפניו, עוזב כפרת במקדשו,
עלו לאדוני משפחות דוד, עלו לאדוני עלו לאדוני ירוד שמות, זכרו נלחם וברך חסותיו, עלו לאדוני
ההדרת קודש, בילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו הגויים אדוני מלך, עתיקות תבל ואל תיבול,
עמים
ונשארים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ,
ים הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי לכל
אשר בו, אז ירננו כל התייר,
Please rise. Psalm 29. The irrepressible, the indefatigable, The voice of spirit in each and every human being, the voice of God in each and every heart, the call of the depths meeting the depths, Mizmor the David.
Don, it's actually his microphone, I think, because every time he turns it on, it's... But besides for that, we could have a little more monitor. We could lift it up a little bit more. Everything else besides something happening with his...
What kind of strength? What kind of strength is required to release the koach gedulas yemincha? One of the great Kabbalistic synonyms for love is gedulah. To be gadol, to be a lover. Avram Ohavi, Ha'el Hagadol, gedulat yemincha. Ay, ay, ay. What kind of strength is required to untie the tangled, tight knots in our hearts and in the world around us? בכוח גדולת ימינך, בכוח גדולת ימינך. Thank you, Chazan Shechter. Let's sing together. That's the kind of not
This one has an ooh that you can sing along to. Ala bekoach gedula simcha. Tatu tzurura kabel rina samcha. Ala bekoach gedula simcha. Tati tzurura kabel rina samcha. Sagvenu tarenu noraha. Oh, the strength I have in need, I ask for more so I can breathe. Untie these tangles for the songs and joy we sing. Accept our flaws, accept our dreams. Untie these tangles. Bless us, cleanse us with your grace. These times are hard, these times face us. Untie these tangles. Receive our prayer, hear our cry. You know the secrets and reasons why. Untie these tangles. Sagvenu tarenu noraha. Shabbatenu kabel ushma. Zakatenu yodea talumot. Shabbatenu kabel ushma. Zakatenu yodea talumot. Kader katenu yodea talumot. Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed.
want you to close your eyes if you're not already with your eyes closed. Maybe uncross your legs, take your cross, and sit up in the chair. Find the strength of your own body, support your body. Top of the head and go reach the body touching the chair or the ground. Then feel that.
Poem for opening up. Don't go a-moping. Romemu is open. But the truth is, this community, it was never broken. The words were daily spoken. They weren't just a token. We were hoping and praying, and I'm not just saying. Hazan Basya, she got ya. Rabbi Mira, she sees ya. Rabbi Scott offers pearls o' wisdom. And Rabbi Ingber, he's a singer scholar, a doctor of the soul. And now, we won't leave anyone out in the cold. No one bereft in a black hole. All of you on screen, your faces have a royal sheen. We're all kings and queens. No one is demeaned. We're all part of the scene. We convene beyond the screen. After all, community, it's the ultimate immunity. It's a soul vax, a potion made from acts of love, a potion, a notion from above. From all around, it's the sound of Romemu, because we always knew we would get through. Not as two, but as one crew. And now we're starting anew. So don't go besmirching this church. Don't demean the screen. No matter where you are, know this: we're not truly scattered, we're a smattering of divinity. Unity in diversity, infinity in this holy vicinity. Because it's written in sacred ink, we're inextricable, we're linked. We're held in the same sublime time, here, now, right now, and for eternity.
shalom, ateret b'halom, gam b'simcha u'b'tzohalom, toch emunei am segula, u'ichala Shabbat HaMalkah.
As I turn to face our also to the face. Hourly aren't just tablets. Those little tablets. Those ones. Those fine.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom, Zoomers. Thank you, baby. Sorry. Files. I know you can't hear me. When people here say I'm too loud, they're say I'm not loud enough. Yeah. Is it? That will work? That was fun time. No, it's what's going on in this clarity. You never know how clear you are. If it's mist in the pulpit, it's fog right in you. And just, it's like, I'm clear. So friends,
Say again?
friends,
Take my mic.
we're gonna talk about
3 mics.
okay. Taking your mic. How's that? Better? For you? Okay, Nancy.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow. Okay. It's all about finding the right mic. That's what it is. Right, Susan? There you go. Come on. Keep up with me, Michael. Mike. Okay, got it. So this is our new reality, right? This is what it's going to be like. Finding the right mic, trying to make sure that we don't exclude anyone who joined us virtually or digitally until we're all back at the same space. And even then, it's going to be our task to find a way to bridge these two worlds, the world of digital and on-site community. We have a couple of announcements on the screen in front of you at home and on the screen in front of you here in the sanctuary. A couple of very brief announcements for you. There are so many ways to do community at Romemu. Learning through pastoral care and life cycle events and access to those things through Shabbat and holidays. Becoming a Romemu member is never been more important. And we know that this past year, so many new members from beyond our geographic locale joined our community. And those of you who have been supported by Romemu, we really invite you to step forward and to become members of our community at this moment. I'll be having a discussion with Rabbi Danielle Hartman this coming June 17th. Is Wednesday or Thursday? Which is it? Thursday. So this Thursday, Danielle and I will be talking about the recent war in Israel and also the political events on the ground there. Danielle is, of course, the director of the Shalom Hartman Institute in Jerusalem, and also it's affiliated here in America, the North American Shalom Hartman Institute. So we'll be in conversation this coming Thursday, June 17th. Evelyn Goodman's memorial events will be coming up next Shabbat, next weekend. Evelyn Goodman, for those who don't know who Chaya Bracha was, Evelyn Goodman, she was one of the holiest people that I've ever met, and she was a remarkably powerful and wise member of our community who traced her ancestry back to the holy Berdichever, the Kaddish lady, the holy Berdichever. He just used to say, I'm an Einik Lachama, great-great-great-great-grandchild of the Berdichever, the holy Hasidic Rebbe, Levi Yitzchak. Save the date for our community meeting, Tuesday, June 22nd, coming up, an important opportunity to lift up the lay leadership of our community, which is so important, and also a chance to see our new board slate, and also to vote on it, and also to see the new budget for the coming year, and all kinds of wonderful things happen at the community meeting. So we hope that you will join us. Members of this community, please come for the community meeting. Our food justice panel will be happening this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. Karen Washington, who is the co-owner and farmer at Rise and Root Farm, and also the co-owner of Black Urban Growers. She's remarkable, and so she's going to be on a food justice panel this coming Sunday. Please join us for that as well. And Mazel Tov to Zach Rovin. I don't know if Zach's on tonight, but he's probably preparing for tomorrow morning's big day. Zach is having his bar mitzvah tomorrow morning here with us, and we're so excited to celebrate with you, Zach, and with Janice, and with Miles and the whole family tomorrow morning here at 10 o'clock, open book tomorrow morning at 9. And without further ado, anybody who's here for the first time in the Romemu Sanctuary, we'd love to see if you're here. Is there anybody here for the first time? Any first-timers? Welcome. Would you, Jeff, can you pan over? I mean, this is monumental. This is historic. This has not been done in 14 months. We had no one new here last week. Is it okay if we ask you to stand up? And sure. It counts. It all counts. Well, okay, great. We'll have you. That'd be wonderful. So let's first hear this gentleman. What's your name? Jeremy Spiegel from Okay, from Long Island originally and in Midtown. Well, welcome. Did you just you thought I'm looking for a post-corona shul? Or I was walking by and you. Nice. Well, branching out, it's so wonderful that you can have more than one shul. That's great. That's wonderful. So welcome. So great to have you. And would you like to stand up and introduce yourself? Wonderful. Estelle. Oh, you've won, of course. That's so good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So friends in the Zoom room, in the Zoom shul, the Zoomagog. So the friends in the Zoomagog, you missed that Estelle, who was usually right over here, where Neely is, but Neely, you made room for Estelle. You took Estelle's place. No, God forbid. There's room for everyone in the Zoomagog. And so Estelle is here in our sanctuary. So we're looking forward to people who have never been to the actual I'm looking at you, Nancy Dallett. I know that you haven't been to Romemu, New York City. I'm looking forward to you walking into the sanctuary and being with us. It's good to see all of you. And so anybody here in the Zoomagog that's here for the first time, thank you. Deborah Nussbaum Cohen said it's a good neologism. Thank you. My best material is on the spot on Romemu night, Friday night. Anybody here for the first time? Thank you also for Daiken. Daiken, I see you drumming. You're also going to be on the Food Justice panel, my brother. Thank you so much for that holy work. Anybody else? Ben Stegbauer is your partner, Rachel, and is here for the first time. Welcome, everybody. Let's say, and you know what? Let's say hi to Ben, everybody. Say hi to Ben.
Hi, Ben.
All right, that's a first in Romemu, right there. Anybody else here for the first time? I needed a pan through. I'm only on the first screen. I see Reb Shalom Schachter, my dear friend from Toronto. Anybody else? It's Chaverim. People around the corner with Ronnie. We can't wait till you come in here. It'll be great to see you. And Debbie, you'll come up from Florida. And David Siegman will come. And Beth, we'd love to see you here one day. Janice, did you see that we're talking about Zach's big day tomorrow? You saw that, right? Okay, great. We can't wait till tomorrow. So anybody else here in this chat, I wish I could just touch this like I was on CNN. This has been called for Biden, this area here. The chat area has been called for Biden. Unbelievable. Oh, Grace is here for the first time. Welcome to Grace, everybody. Let's welcome Grace. Jonathan Fastberg, we expected to see you here the Shabbos, and I think it's very bold for you to be in the Zoom room. I thought I was going to see you, but I love you. I'm just kidding. Whenever you come. No, we saw Ben. All right, everybody, we're going to rise for the Baruch Hu together. Please rise if you're able. המבורך לעולם ועד. Please be seated. שירי דברם אני והרבים ומעמדו השלבים בתבונה משנאיתים ומחליפת הזמנים לסלם זה תוכל משלמים אור מבני חושך וחושך מבני אור. Beit Yisrael, with the love that transcends time and space, with great compassion you open our closed hearts, teaching us wisdom and Torah from the very lives we lead. כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו ובכם נגד יומם והלילה ויעבדך אל תעשה ממנו אור לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל וכל יושבי תבל ואהבה יני ני ני ני
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue, please, in the second paragraph, or reminding yourself. Remember your actions matter. Remember your acts. And actions matter. נתתי את ארצכם בהתעורר מלכוש וסעדתם ושכב יפרק. וסרתם בבתם התמיכה.
ata Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'al Yerushalayim
Please rise if you're able. Neshamenu b'nei Israel es ha-Shabbat לעשות es ha-Shabbat לעשות
Israel, Bagala, Bagala, Ubizman Karim. Amen. Yesh Me'Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Le'olam Maya, Yitbarach.
Yisbarach, Yishtabach, Yisbar, Yisromam, Yisnasei, Yishadar, Yisalev, Yis'alal, Shemei de Kudishai, Le'ela, Minekol Birchasa, Meshirasa, Tosh Vechasa, Benechemata, Damiran, and let us say,
Amen.
and you can find our own Amidah off the book, or if you find the traditional Amidah or your own way of presencing yourself in the presence of Shabbat and our ancestors as we take these next few moments for our silent prayer.
Shalom. 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 Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Let there be peace.
Vayikach Korach. And Korach took. Last week we learned about the spies, the Miraglim, 10 of whom were led astray by surfaces and by dimensions. Anshe Midot, they're called in the Torah. Men for whom size matters. Kalev and Yehoshua, the two individuals who, notwithstanding peer pressure, notwithstanding what the mob said they should say, withstood. They withstood the relentless attack on their integrity, the relentless undermining of their authority. They were told, hey, it's going to be really bad. Notwithstanding the number of people who sent them emails and made phone calls, the social media enterprise that kicked into full gear to try to make sure that Kalev and Yehoshua had the right talking points when they got back to talk to the people, they stood firm. They were not led astray by their eyes. The end of last week's Torah portion gives us a communal Kalev and Yehoshua on the garments that we wear, forever reminding us that we too should follow the truth and not conform. That truth is the last truth before Korach's Vayikach. The portion that brings us the rebellion of Korach, the paragon of what is known by the rabbis as Machloket Shelo L'Shem Shamayim, an argument whose purpose and intention is not pure, that isn't for the sake of heaven. Begins with the mysterious verb Vayikach, and he took, which leads the rabbis to wonder, for goodness sakes, tell us what he took. What could possibly have been the thing that he took that is not named? Vayikach Korach. Of course, the simple meaning of the text is that he took people with him. That's what he took. Vayikach Korach. And he took a whole entourage. He took 250 and then some people, and they attacked the authority of Moshe, the greatest leader and the greatest prophet of our people. But I love the interpretation that I saw today that went out on the Chazon Listserv, our sister community, Chazon. where Hannah Ilogin wrote, in the name of her grandfather, that Korach was a taker. Vaikach Korach means his whole persona was, give me. Give me. And as the rebellion begins to find steam, we find Hebrew terms like Rav Lecha. Give you, you already have enough. Rav Lecha, you have enough. Give you? Korach is a taker. And he finds his way into leadership by being jealous of that thing which he doesn't have, but that he wants so desperately. Korach, as a taker, represents the kind of posture that we have sometimes when we walk into groups, into communities, into settings, where the ethos is one where people join and then they just leave. They leave as needy as they were when they came in, because they assumed that their need would be met by taking instead of by giving. Some people come to communities for solace. They long for heights and they yearn for ecstasy. They view the spiritual community as a place of concerts without any cleanup. They think of spiritual community as all meals and no dishes. There are some who join a spiritual community who don't mind doing the dishes. They don't mind doing the cleanup. They don't mind rolling up their sleeves to pitch in, but only want to do what they want to do. They don't ask what is needed in the space, but rather make space for my needs. It's my talents, it's my proclivities. Spiritual community as place where there is a theater component. There's a stage and everyone gets to play a part. There are some who say, you know, I want to be a chef. And when told there already is a chef, they say, well, that's not fair. When asked if they know how to cook, they say no, but it looks like the cook has so much fun being told how great the dishes are that they make I, too, want to be a cook. This posture of what's in it for me, taking, Vaikach Korach, is anathema to the way that the Zohar HaKadosh, the 13th century mystical text, reads community. The Zohar imagines that each and every one of us is born into the world unlike the Creator who has it all. We have nothing. And so our natural inclination is to say, give me, havli, havli, give me. But that desire to receive in the system of the Zohar known as Ashlagi and Kabbalah becomes the need to turn receptivity into giving. That which is taking becomes that which wants to give. This framing of community as a place where we serve, as opposed to a place where we are served, is a source of a childhood memory that I've carried with me my whole life, and that only tonight I'm telling you. I don't even think I've ever said this publicly before. My father knows this, my sisters know this, my brother knows this. But like any kid growing up, I was totally and absolutely ashamed of my parents as often as possible, especially when we were in public. And my whole life, I wanted my father, in certain ways, to be bigger than he already was, and he was a big man. A big man in heart, a big man in mind, a big man in ruach and spirit. And there was a point in my life where I was embarrassed because my father had become the president of our shul in Great Neck, which was quite a big thing. Maybe 1,000 families in the Great Neck Synagogue. My father was the president of the shul. I remember being so proud as he stood up on Yom Kippur to speak in front of 2,000 people. That's my dad. But then the absolute cringe-worthy shame when, after stepping down, my father refused to have his picture on the president's wall in the synagogue. 20 pictures of fathers and brothers, all men, of course, Orthodox synagogue, all with their ties on. There was Mr. Berkowitz, there was Mr. Greenberg, there was doctor, and then an absolutely empty frame. And that's where my dad's picture was. And for years I'd say to my pop, I'd say, Pop, how could you not have your picture there? It's almost inviting more attention by not having your picture there. Why don't you just have your picture there? And my father would say, because it was never, ever, he would say, about me. It was never, ever about me. I almost wish that I could have done it without anyone ever knowing that I did it. I stepped in to serve, but I knew that people would say that I was the one responsible for doing this, and I was responsible for the one who transitioned from Rabbi Wolf to Rabbi Polikoff, and I was the one. And I knew that if I were there, that they would think that I cared. And I didn't want that, he said. Like Kach Korach. Korach was a taker. What's in it for me, says Korach. You, Moshe, who are you to lord it over all of us? To be a part of a community. As the great philosopher Isaiah Leibowitz said, to be part of a community is to have something greater than the sum of its parts. To be a part of a community is to say that at the center of the community is what the community is here to do. He reads Korach's argument. All of the people of Israel, says Korach, are holy, uvetocham Adonai. Leibowitz says, all of the people individually are holy. That's not the Torah's way. Each and every person, of course, is holy, but kiddoshim to you in the plural, not singular. Holier together, stronger together. Putting the community and its purpose at the center. In a few weeks, we'll have our community gathering. And everyone here who's been a part of this community knows that even though we honored Marsha Meislin and Karen Goldstick at our benefit 2 weeks ago, if there are two people and they have a lot of others that they connect with, who put the community at the center, it is the two of them. The generosity of time and talent and treasure that they have poured into this community is representative of an ethos here in this community of pull up a chair and get to work. Their generosity is the generosity not of vayikach, of let me take, but how can I serve? How can I inspire? How can I lift other people up? They put Yiddishkeit, Judaism, inspiration at the center, and they generously invite others to pull up a chair. They say, ask not what Romemu can do for you, but what you can do for the Mu. And it's not just you, Marsha, and it's not just Karen, and it's not just all of the lay leaders on the screen and the lay leaders in this room, but Romemu's entire ethos for over a decade has been about generosity. We never thought to ourselves, it's enough if we're in the room. We wondered who else can still come and be a part of this thing. Because of the generosity of not taking but giving, the Romemu board years ago decided we should have a yeshiva. We should build a place where just today we finished our 19-day immersion experience, and Jessica Litwak, who's smiling and smiling and smiling in the pews, is infinitely honored by all of the Romemu locals whose generosity helped birth a place where people from all over the world, in person and online, can come and study Jewish renewal and Chassidut in a postmodern, fully egalitarian, fully alive way. That is not vayikach, not to take, but to give. So tonight, our second gathering here after a pandemic. And my deepest fear as we now open up is that we return to business as usual, where synagogues are basically a fee for service, where mosques and churches and other communities that are focused around the sacred invite the kind of narcissism and consumerism and individualism that we as Jews have always said is anathema to spiritual growth. I would love to see in the year ahead and in the years to come a community that shows up for one another, yeah? A community that doesn't ask what will they give, but comes forward and says, what can we serve? How can we be deployed? A community that doesn't think of itself and its individuals before it thinks of the collective, of this chevraya, this holy community. My hope and prayer is that we will be together on June 22nd to lift up our lay leaders. My hope and prayer is as the months come along, that this Romemu community, which has shown itself to be so generous and so selfless and so remarkably able to pivot and to position itself in a place for spiritual aliveness and vitality, that it will serve the larger community, that it will serve the global community. It will recognize that the taking and taking and taking of this earth's resources has depleted it, and it's time for us to give back. So I want to bless each and every one of you, and I hope that tonight when you go home, wherever you will be, in the Zoom or in the room, you'll ask yourself the question, in what places in my life am I taking, and in what places am I giving, and where is it both and? That we might build a community together that is constructed from a world of service towards a greater aim. Please rise. milvado. Ein noro, efes ulato. Ein on milvado. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה הוויה אחד ושמו We lift up the names of those who are in mourning. We lift up those who are in mourning. We lift up the names of those who are being mourned. I invite you to turn your attention to the screen. Well, this one here. We remember tonight Kathy Maddie, Elizabeth Deegan, and Bertha Sutton, Naomi Kramer Stemp. We remember tonight Evelyn Goodman, Chaya Brocha, Arthur Siegel, Jason Andrew Botsky, Dr. Norman Crane, Solomon Marenberg, Cecilia Romo, Stuart Fred Feit, David Wendergrad, Kimberly Hall, David Silverstein, Harry Bloom and Shirley Siegel, Benjamin Wolf Telushkin, Beth Baldridge, and Devorah Stoll. We remember Lee Brox and Jane Farman Shore, Ellsworth Levine, Erwin Bardash, Mr. Elsie Pops Floyd, and Lynn Blacker. We remember Shirley Gatzik, Grace Tanin Denmark, Rabbi Raphael Goldstein, Hamagi Yitzchak Buxbaum, Brady Rifkin, Lorette Nierenberg and Barry Kosky, Betty Levin, and Seymour Borstein. We remember tonight Leslie Robert Axelrod, Charlotte Figman, Stuart Saville, Lily Zemet, Julia Eisenberg, Shirley Marlowe, Gretchen Jury, Michael Fricano Jr., Nancy Traeger, Rabbi Dr. Henry Dicker, and Robert Gerald Cohen, Angela Lamb Margolis, Everett Duchin, Batya Ariel Bat Abraham, and Lee Brox, Judy Rubin and Tav Sparks, Annie Esty, Marisa Nanyan, Hank Wesselman, Eric Press, Iona Miller, Yost Lundberg, Dr. Randy Baker, Irene Weiss Miller, Thelma Kirsch, and David Rabinowitz. Marvin I. Sameth, Chaya Gittel ben Meshulam Zalman, the Yortzeit. Rabbi David Cooper, Reverend Robert Greats, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs, Mark Evan Beitman, Anne Marie Zangara Zati Munajat, we miss you, Ido Shefi. If you could scroll down, thank you. Devorah, one second, go back a little bit. Devorah, Sarah Basrona, Chana Baschai, Sarah Ted Tennant, Chaim Mayer, Fred Rogers, my father Howard Dess, Krista BP, Zalman, Shlomi, Jonina Godwin Pitchman, Shai Zoderer, Danny Rohrbach, Charlie Dixon, Rabba Pauline Tamari, beloved sister Eileen Young, Lipari, Theodore Jarvis. We lift up all of those who are in mourning. We lift up all of those who are saying the mourners' Kaddish tonight. We invite you to please rise, if it is your custom, to stand for the mourners. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei rabba v'olmad v'rachi rusei v'yamlich machusei v'chayichon v'yomichon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agala u'bizman kori v'imru amen yehi shmei rabba b'vorach le'elam u'imei almaya yidbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei Yitadar v'italev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'ilam min kol birchata v'shirata kush bechata v'nechimata damiram v'oma v'imiru amen Yehi shlom rabba min shmaya v'chayim tovim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'mamavu v'rachamav yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel V'imru, amen. Yehi zichram baruch, may their memory be a blessing. We invite you to please be seated. So into this cup of blessing tonight, I'm making my way over here. And it's still early enough, by the way, to light candles, if I'm not mistaken. Would anybody here like to light candles? Yeah, let's light candles together. Sure. Why not? Let's do it. Please rise, everybody, for candle lighting.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbos. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Good Shabbos, 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 good Shabbos.
I need that. Into this cup of blessing, we have thank yous for tonight. This beautiful community is graced with beautiful musicians, to Shai Weltzer and to Jerry Corman and Yashi Fruchter. Thank you guys for being here. To my dear friend, Rabbi Yosef Goldman, thank you so much for being here with your voice, and just to see you is a bracha. To Rabbi Maya Zinkow. The last time Rabbi Maya was here, she was in her second to last year of rabbinical school. The last time we davened together was at the... Exactly. And now, oh, look at this. All rabbi. Look at this, all rabbi. All grown up and rabbi. I love it. We have, exactly, to Natalia, Jeffrey, Justin, Junior, Sebastian, Miriam, and Simon. Hi, Simi. Beautiful. And of course, to our entire team, this entire clergy team and the entire staff behind the scenes, we thank you and we put you into this cup of blessing. Into this cup of blessing. To Don and to Matt. And as you can all see, we're just getting the kinks worked out. We're just working out all the little things. We have to kind of figure it out from scratch again, but it's all good. To all of our people over there, wherever you are, we lift a cup of blessing to the remarkable yeshiva team, to Shamira Chandler, director of the yeshiva, who over 100 students in the yeshiva this past 3 weeks. To all of the teachers that were part of the amazing cohort, and into this cup of blessing. Yom Hashishi vayichul v'shamayim v'atzrichot tzva'am vayichal Elohim yom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbos b'yom hashvi mikom melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim es yom hashevi'i vayikadesh oso yivo shavas mikom melachto Asher bara Elohim la'asot. Savi chavirai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yavav ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit. Ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tzias Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta im kol amim b'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbos l'chaim l'chaim. Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yimru Amen. Oh, say Shalom V'Brahma Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yimru Amen. Ha! Oh, say